I think we have all the answers all the time. If we don't, I think that we fall into the pit of trying to fix things, get the answers, when the answer for me always sits in Tanya. In order to serve the way I had to serve, you got to have some level of love for the country. And then the conflict is the level of love that I have for this country looking like myself. Sometimes this country doesn't show that same kind of level of love back towards me.
And and when you're the first to do it, you don't even realize you're the first to do it because your head is still in the ground, you're working, you're grinding.
We never aimed to be first. Yeah. We aimed to just not be the only.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Lauren LaRosa. We are back here, BET Talks, and today joining me, I have none other than Grammy-nominated global superstars. But you guys are also husband-wife duet War and Treaty country music group. Welcome to BET Talks.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you.
How you guys feeling today? Come on, y'all can give it up for that. Y'all can give it up for that. Y'all feeling good?
Happy to be here.
I had to throw in the husband-wife at the same time because to be Grammy-nominated, to be touring, to be sensations, but also husband and wife, the unit at the end of the day. How?
It's a balancing act, but what you usually see on stage is what we do all the time. It's just who we are. So it's just transitions from day to day life to work, and it's all the same. It's like one thread.
What's the biggest thing that you take away from marriage, but also you guys work together for the group?
I think the biggest thing that I'm learning is to shut the hell up, and then she's got it, and I don't have to try to do anything but shut the hell up. Like now.
I was like, okay.
No, it's real. I mean, as men, I think we have all the answers all the time. And if we don't, I think that we fall into the pit of trying to fix things, get the answers, when the answer for me to all of my questions always sits in Tanya. So that's why I'm like, I'm learning, and she knows I'm learning to just be quiet and just say, you know what, you've been here, you got it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? He said his answers sit in Tanya.
Oh yeah.
That's a very restful, peaceful place to be at.
Exactly.
I love that for you guys. And I get that from you, like, in meeting you.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, let me just, I want to figure out how you guys arrived at this point.
Yeah.
Because entertainment industry is crazy.
I think, for me, especially with Michael saying that he finds rest in me, there's a place where you can be, there's a soft life thing going around. But there's this place where he allows you to be that, and a lot of times because you're so used to working hard or the grind, there's a place where you could just lay your head down, get up under him, and fall asleep every night, and you just feel safe.
I want to play a game with you guys.
Uh-oh.
So you can either sit here,
Here we
be quiet,
go.
and rest in Tanya,
Okay.
And let me win.
Yeah,
Now I'm competitive. We like to battle in games now.
Oh wait, y'all want to battle?
Yeah.
You guys are the first group that I've done, so this will be my first battle. So it's like maybe we could do that. I'll ask her one, I'll ask you one.
Okay, let's do
winner
it.
Takes
Okay.
all.
All right, winner takes all.
Okay, all right. So this one, it'll have to be, I don't know, whoever wants to answer it, but the next one we'll battle with
Okay,
that.
all right.
Okay, because I want to do this one first. So this game is called This or That. So I'm going to ask you guys this or that. Joint will versus separate will.
Joint will.
Joint will.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have to really explain it, but if you want to.
Joint will.
No, that's right. We gonna move on. Heard you, Mike. Heard you. Okay, we gonna move on. That answer rests.
Won't get me, baby.
Okay, 106 in Park versus Rap City.
Ooh,
106 in Park.
Wait a minute.
I gotta go one.
Wait. 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your hesitation at first?
Because I was big on both, but I think 106.
Yeah.
But the bigger question is Free and AJ.
Are you?
I'm not
okay.
okay. All right.
You been cheating in space.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Why you all in my hand?
This is the shut the hell up part that I'm trying to learn. All right, here we go.
He got a good side eye. You saw that.
So, Free and AJ or Bow Wow and Jealous?
Free and AJ.
Donnie Simpson.
What?
The king, the GOAT.
You taking it back.
Wait a minute. You didn't hear the question.
I know I stepped out the box.
No, you step in that
Maybe
box.
this is a battle. I don't even know how we keep
This
the
is a
points
battle.
right now, but
I'm gonna say Free and AJ.
okay.
The OGs, man. Like, and you said Bow or who?
It's probably, don't worry. Bow Wow. You don't remember when Bow Wow was Mr. 106?
I do, but I mean, we just go to just skip over Roxy.
No. That was next.
The
So
next.
I'm
Stop looking at her.
You really
It's me and El Boogie show now, baby. Here we go.
Wait a minute now.
Oh man, I'm messing
No,
up.
but okay, so
Okay, go
we
ahead.
don't gotta skip over Roxy. We can go to Roxy. So,
Free and AJ.
and then Roxy and Terrence J for you.
Free and AJ.
Free and AJ.
Okay.
Still. But Roxy and Terrence was like, okay, I had to warm up to that. Because I was like, man, what just happened? Like,
They were first out the gate though. After we got used to Free and AJ, so I can understand you.
yeah, Free and AJ was just OGs. I mean, like that was. I might be snitching on the age factor, but still, they was. Yeah.
Tanya, you have an OG answer here.
Yeah.
Talk to the people.
Well, I was one of the second people to ever do BET with Donnie Simpson because I'm from DC and that's where BET started.
And when you were there, this was way.
It was 100 years ago.
Yeah, like pre.
I'm
Treaty, 100%.
I'm an AI.
Woo!
I look like this, but it's all
Yes,
AI.
she is.
Yeah.
Not I'm an
Just
AI.
chat.
Yeah, I'm an AI girl.
She puts the T in chat.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna try and I'm gonna
Figure it out, darling.
Chat GP Tanya.
I'm resting in Chat GP Tanya.
That's me.
I'm gonna sit in there.
I might glitch at any moment.
But you being the second person on that show, like, and now you're back here, BET Talks. It's such different time periods, but you're here again. How does that feel for you?
It's incredible. It really is to watch what it has become and to see, all the young black people who started. My friend, I was like one of the first people he ever did makeup, and now he's doing Oprah. You watch people's careers evolve, and you watch your own
Shout out
careers
to Derek.
evolve. Derek Rutledge, and you watch the executives evolve, and you watch how BET has grown with you and the beauty that you bring to this show. It's just amazing to see. It actually brings tears to my eyes.
Okay, so wait, because this brings me to the new project that you guys have, Plus One. I will be honest, like, listening to country music is not my normal thing.
No.
But in listening to you guys' album, I hear church through and through and through and through and through. The tambourines, the shouting, like all of that.
Well, the history of country music starts in the church. People don't understand that. It started with, I like to start it in the family with the Carter family going around to black people and hearing their stories and hearing songs and taking those songs and calling them hymns, but they were just our songs that we used to get us over. I'd like to say Ty and I are just returning to some roots and reclaiming it and really trying to help our people understand and that, listen, everything begins with us.
In making this album is even like when you choose where songs go, like how you open it. What's the first song, the second song, the last song? Because it flowed very well. It went from that deep church tabernacle feel into, I'm hearing like the USA, like the folk music, and the transition was really smooth. Like you took me on a journey. How do you guys do that?
Yeah, how we do that, Tanya?
This guy right here.
How did that happen, Tanya?
He rested in me, and it all comes out of his brain.
There's a story there.
Yes, a story.
There's a flow, and I tend to like to try to do it how I would do a show. The storytelling dictates where it goes. I had a whole thing written up about it, and I just was like, wow, this is how we're going to position it.
One of the songs, Can I Get It, Amen?
Yeah.
That song, well, and even on that song with you guys singing to each other, it felt like church, and then it also reminded me of like the old school R&B days where you're like, you gotta like really ask and beg for it, and like you're really in love, and you actually care about each other. Pretty sure that I would say that's purposely done because y'all actually do care about each other. But and even kind of me hearing that R&B, where does that come from? I know Tanya, like you have a background as well outside of country music.
Well, it's all intertwined. So even when I was doing R&B, it was still based with gospel. So you hear gospel growl or you hear gospel ad-lib or something like that. And music takes you wherever you want to go. Sometimes the music causes for you to have a gospel feel. Sometimes it causes for you to have R&B feel or a folk feel. So we're interpreters of the music. So whatever the music or the track or the guitar is doing or the bass line is doing, your vocal instrument follows that sound. So that's all it is your voice following the sound.
What about just career-wise, your transition though? Because like from what I'm learning, you had roots like Bad Boy, like you were like, you had a whole other career before country music.
And I was trying to bring all that there, and they were like, oh, we're not doing it over here. This is hip hop. We dance, But I think in wanting to do different styles of music is one of the reasons why I kind of not walked away from R&B, but I like all different kinds of music. My mother was from Panama, so I was listening to calypso music. I went to college on a vocal scholarship for, opera. Oh, wow. So I was listening to all different kinds of music, and I didn't want to be pigeonholed to one sound. And at that time, that's, you had genres. You have the R&B division with the A&R, you had the pop division, and now the beauty of music is you can put it out on Spotify or Apple and call it what you want to call it and have a playlist with anything you want to listen to on it, you know. And it was just really finding my way. And once I met Michael, we fell in love first before we started doing music. He had this idea of us doing music that wasn't put in a box. And so we started listening to different styles of, you know, different artists in these different genres and came up with the War and Treaty and the sound, you know, of everything that we love.
The name War and Treaty, where does that name come from? And even plus one, like I'm assuming it's because you guys are doing it together and you are like forever plus ones.
You know?
Oh, hell, Boogie's on it.
Look at you taking my answer. Look at you.
Okay.
Now you're doing to me.
Do that. No, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to let you do that. But because the songs, so it's called plus one, and then the songs are very, like, you guys are complimenting and like confessing your love throughout the song. So all the names everywhere they catch you.
Yeah.
The song title, the project title, your title of you guys' group. Why War and Treaty? Why plus one?
We got the name the War and Treaty after a fight.
Oh.
We were fighting about the name. Michael changed the name like 9 times.
It's always going to be on me.
Yeah, you know.
I changed it.
You see why he's resting in me now. And I was like, no, we cannot change the name anymore. It's like 9 times. And then in the middle of our argument, I'm like, no, this is not a war. We have to make some peace. We have to make the treaty. And he was like, what'd you just say? And I'm still going, that. And he's like, no, that's the name of the band. So
I'm also a wounded warrior. I served
Yes.
for tours in the United States Army in Iraq. So we wanted to make sure that truth was represented in our band name. So that's really where the war part comes from. And then when I think about all the things that I had gone through, in order for me to make peace, I couldn't make that without Tanya coming into my life and helping me find the treaties and those things. So that's really just where the name really comes from.
And then plus one, what was the argument around that? Like, were you trying to go somewhere and she was trying to come and they're like, no plus one? It's
No, I think that the thing that Tanya and I, we recognize an opportunity to invite people into our world. And we're one entity, and then you will be our plus one. You know, just putting it out there, coming to the show, coming to, you know, getting into the records, and really just being our plus one through this journey in music.
I know you mentioned your time serving, and for you, just taking everything, you mentioned what you've been through, taking everything that you've been through and putting it into music.
Yeah.
What is that journey like? Is it triggering for you? Is it?
At times, it's very triggering. I served in 1/6 Infantry, 2nd Brigade, 1st Armored Division. In order to serve the way I had to serve, you got to have some level of love for the country. And then the conflict is having the level of love that I have for this country looking like myself. Sometimes this country doesn't show that same kind of level of love back towards me. So I get conflicted, but then I think of the Tuskegee Airmen and I quickly resolute myself. I got into the military to take care of my children. I had made a bunch of mistakes. I had dropped out of high school. I was going down a bad path, and then I had 2 blessings, my daughter, Michaela, and my baby girl, Courtney. And I needed to make sure that I did the right thing there. And so I joined the Army and went to war and lost a lot of people in the war. And I literally started writing songs there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I can imagine being there and writing songs and, you know, now what those songs mean to you and kind of how they play out in everyday life. But you mentioned, you know, being patriotic and this being your country as well too, but not always feeling like that. And you guys not being received that way because of how you look. I can imagine the country music lane of things kind of may feel like that at times. What has the Beyonce effect been like for you guys around country music?
For one, the country music genre itself hasn't felt like that for Tanya and I. Our walk in that space has been full of joy, full of laughter, full of education, to be able to come across people where our journey starts. Our journey doesn't start with Garth Brooks. It doesn't start with Luke Combs. Our journey starts with Reese Palmer, who is an African-American young woman who actually charted first before there was anyone charting. And she told us we could do it. From there, the rest is history. We meet several different kinds of people that have become extremely instrumental. I'm so proud to be a country creative in the time of Cowboy Carter. Beyonce, when she won her award, she shed some light on Linda Martell. There's so many of our people who have really chartered and paved the way. We don't get to Cowboy Carter. We don't get to Plus One. We don't get to Mickey Guyton or Darius Rucker or Charlie Pride without recognizing and going back in history and looking at Mr. Ray Charles. He had the greatest country album of all time, the modern sounds of country western music. It was Ray Charles who opened the entire world to this idea that country music can be global. And without the genius of Ray Charles, we don't get here.
I feel and hear him on Plus One too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel the deep, like when Beyonce won the award, there was an interview after where she talked about how amazing it was for her children to be able to see that moment and just experience everything that they've experienced as a Black woman in this space and legacy. And you guys are doing this together. You're building business.
Yeah.
What do you take away from that, and kind of what are your moments like when your family gets to see you?
Well, it's the same kind of, because we are the first African American couple to be nominated for an ACM award as well as a country music award.
Y'all can clap for that too. Give it up.
People's Choice Country.
Say it one more time for the people straight to camera. You know what I mean?
And the People's Choice Award, and to also be nominated as Best New Artist for the Grammys as a country duo, representing that space. It's amazing that our children get to watch this because it's the first.
Right.
And and when you're the first to do it, you don't even realize you're the first to do it because your head is so in the ground, you're working, you're grinding. We're in our turtle top van for 4 or 5 years before we even get a real deal or get on a radio or anybody's radar. So to see our children, to see us go from being homeless to doing this now, they are so proud and they are so amazed, and we share moments together, all of us, where we hug and we cry and we're like, we did this because they sacrificed as well.
We never aimed to be first. We aimed to just not be the only.
Yeah.
And I think that is why it's so shocking for us, because it was like, listen, if we do this now, 10 years later there'll be another husband and wife duo that are African American that will easily walk in and say, this is our space, we claim this.
I saw you getting emotional when you were just talking about kind of what that was like, and you mentioned that there was a point in time where you guys were homeless to where you are now.
Well, I never want to forget. I think it's important that you never forget where you come from, and you find ways to be able to draw into that emotion, because that's what connects people to your art. That's what keeps you connected to the people, and that's what keeps you going. And you look at all these things that are happening for you and you lose sight of what's really going on, and you miss the whole point. The point is, like Michael said, there's a slew of other young artists who are trying to do the same thing, and you want them to be able to walk through that door. I'm reminded of a young lady, we were in Canada, African-American young lady who was an R&B singer, and she came up to us after we did a panel and she started crying. And she was shaking. She was shaking uncontrollably, and this is 2024. And she's like, I can't believe that I can do this. I can be a country artist. You guys showed me that my skin doesn't matter and I can do this. This is 2024. This is the 1960s, where someone feels like they can't do something. And I just grabbed her hand and I said, yes, you can. And then a year later, she tags us in our stories, and she put out a country album in Canada. That's why you do it.
I love that, and that's real effect.
That's
and
real effect.
That is what Plus One will do. That is what War and Treaty will continue to do. Yeah. Any final words after all of that? I mean, I don't know how you follow that up, but
I'm so excited. Like, this is our first time being interviewed by BET. So
really?
That's the first. Like,
bring it in. Bring it in.
Yeah. We here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, did it feel like the hug that it needed to be?
Yes.
I feel like great.
Yes.
Because you guys are doing such amazing things. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm locked in now. I'm going to listen more. I'm going to try to do the best that I can do to make sure that people know that, like, country music is our music as well too.
That's right.
And y'all just taught me that.
Yeah.
And our show is a revival, girl. It's a church service, so come.
I can feel it.
We have shows. It's country music, but
we get lit.
we have church. It's a revival. So if you come to a show and you come from a background of whether it's R&B, hip hop, gospel, whatever the case may be, what I want to say to the listeners, come to the show, experience it for yourself. It's a revival. It's not what you traditionally think country music is.
Well, guys, this is BET Talks. I am Lauren LaRosa. We are here, Ward and Treaty, their very first time being interviewed by BET together.
Yes.
And make sure you guys don't miss the revival. Tap in with them. Come to the shows. Listen, +1 is out now.
Yeah.
Go and listen to it. It's really good, I promise you. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Lauren. Thank you. That's awesome. You're right.
Yo, Boogie!